We are back for another dose of the lovely David Airey, who joined us on Monday to talk about his new book coming out, Logo Design Love, the third edition. But we also chatted about 20 years of being a graphic designer. And actually, I was really surprised, David, that it ended up sort of being about life and love and realizing what's more important. It was really humbling.
Well, it was a pleasure talking to you, Katie. And yeah, it's any designer. It's about more than work. You know, it's our lives outside of design that inform the design that we do. So there's a balance there that needs to be struck. Yeah,
I think you've probably gone. Again, I'm making a ton of assumptions, but I feel like I know you because we have sort of chatted back and forth over the years. And I get the impression that we can all succumb to the, David Airey, the graphic designer. And when you kind of go through that moment, you realize you are more than just your job title, and you probably have to work on the other things, which are, let's be honest, more important.
Yeah. My other half, Catherine, she showed me a video recently. It was the Dawson's Creek actor. He died. Yes. Did you see that? And he was talking about what mattered to him. Oh. And whenever everything was stripped away from him, he couldn't care for his family because he was, months on a bed, I think he might have said.
So sad.
Yeah, you ask yourself, what are you really? So I wouldn't define myself as a graphic designer. Graphic design is what I do for work. But yeah, it's always more than that. And my family are really what matters most.
Oh, so humbling, and so too many amazing people gone too soon. It's the sadness of life, and I think we all kind of try and not think about what could happen. We just try and. I mean, that's the other thing. Work can be a very good distraction, can't it? We can sort of get ourselves whisked up in it, and it can help us numb the difficulties of life sometimes.
Yeah, it can. I can get absorbed in the work, and that helps too. When you're focused on one thing, because there are so many distractions, and yeah, I don't. Whenever I'm actively working on a job, I'll not have my email inbox open, for example, because I used to, and you'd get another email. It would just take your attention away from what you were doing. So it's good to be focused on the work whenever you're doing the work. It is a good, it can be a distraction from other things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's good to focus.
Yeah. Now we're going to sort of like pose 5 questions to you, because this is the Spark. We have a little bit of fun on the Spark. And we're going to start with something that I'm really quite concerned about. I don't know what you're going to say here. And it's an interesting question. And David, from what I have learned about you, it's going to be an interesting one. You're a gentle, kind, very generous human being. But David, tell me, what's your most controversial creative opinion?
Oh, controversial. I was more controversial in my earlier days in the profession. I remember some of the blog posts that I made. Were you an
angry male graphic designer?
Oh, I might have been, Katie. I might have been. There was one blog post where I tore the London Olympics logo to shreds. And that's not the type of thing I would do now. Or there was another blog post where I called out someone who stole my work, and then his name ranked top of a Google search due to my blog post. And my blog post was "Don't hire Matt Earnshaw." Oh. And I realised that he wouldn't have been the only one, so I quickly took that down. Anyway, yeah, I was more controversial back in the day because I knew that it would generate views and comments on my blogs, but yeah, that's not the way I would do things today. A controversial opinion, though, it's probably that it's not really controversial, but I would say discipline matters more than passion. You get people who say, follow your passion. If they're asked, do you have any advice? And do it because you're passionate about it. But passion is inconsistent, whereas discipline is more reliable.
Yeah.
And I would say that long careers, they're built on more steady effort, not that emotional intensity that you would relate with passion. And when you are disciplined about doing the work over a long period of time, then you become more competent. And it can be that competence that then fuels the passion when you realize, I'm actually good at this. Then the passion can grow from that. So rather than following your passion, if you don't know what you're doing, a better approach would be just try something, be disciplined at it for a while, see if you like it over a longer period. And if you don't, move on to something else, but don't feel that you need to be passionate about it, because that can lead you to think this isn't right for me, even though I am passionate about the projects that I do, but not all the time. There are times when I just want to go to the cinema and watch a film. I don't need to be passionate every second of every day. So yeah, passion flows up and down, but discipline over time, I'd say that's more rewarding.
That's very valuable. And as for, past mistakes and all that jazz, one of the things that I keep coming back to at the moment, David, I mean, I had a back injury. I spent pretty much a year on the floor, and you do really spend a lot of that time. You first of all beat yourself up. How the bloody hell did I get here? And you beat yourself up, and you're angry and you're bitter, and you go through all the emotions. And then you sort of start to say, well, come on, let's be kind to ourselves. Let's have some compassion. And one of the things I keep coming back to is, if we can have some kindness and compassion for ourselves and know that we have at times acted like a massive dickhead, right? Then surely everybody else has been that way as well. So let's give ourselves and other people a break, and the world would be a much better place.
Yes, well said. Well said. I'm not perfect by any means.
No one is.
Yeah, nobody is. If someone is a dick to you, just remember that there can be other things going on in their lives that you don't see.
Exactly.
So yeah, cut them a bit of slack too.
100%. There's always a reason behind it. Everybody's dancing to their own music. And as my nana always very wisely said, you don't know what hell other people are going through.
Wise words.
She was a good egg. She wasn't completely wise. She was always slipping us sugar cubes across the table in front of my mum. So not completely, on the right track.
One of my memories from my childhood was I was in the kitchen. My parents were in the other room, and I was probably, 6 or 7, but I remember it vividly. There was a sugar container, and I got a teaspoon, and I was just eating the sugar, and my brother came in and saw me and ran to my parents, and I got a telling off for that. But just eating sugar,
I love that. Honestly, that's hilarious. My nana was really naughty. Her and I used to sort of sneak, those really awful processed white slices of bread that when they're fresh, when they're fresh, you basically, she used to smother them in butter and squeeze some ketchup in the middle and then fold it over, and then you get that amazingly satisfying curve, in the white bread. And then her and I would stand in her Formica kitchen, which I think was like yellow work surfaces in Durham, and just eat this like little treat. And still to this day, if I'm hungover or if I feel like I need some home comfort, I mean, Tom will take one look at me if he sees me getting a white slice of bread out and ketchup, and he'll just disappear into another room because he thinks it's disgusting. And I'll just stand by the fridge.
There was brown sauce sandwiches for me when I was younger.
Really?
Brown
So you did
sauce.
the same?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was HP sauce.
We
I don't think I ever tried the ketchup.
Oh, we just had an Anne of Green Gables moment, David.
Yeah, I just got a bread maker the other week, actually, because I don't like all the... You buy a loaf out of the supermarket, and the use-by date will be, say the 10th of the month. And then you look at it after the 20th of the month and it looks fine. And you think, what is in this to keep
Chemicals.
that there's no mold on there. So, yeah, I'm trying to bake my own now.
Oh, love it. You'll be getting an outdoor sauna next and a little bathtub.
Oh, I love an outdoor sauna.
No, so would I. Shall we do it? Shall we get one?
Yes,
How
Yes.
can we convince Tom? Come on, give me a really good reason, David.
Put a bookshelf in it.
That is genius. Would the books be okay though?
They can have their own compartment just outside. Just outside the outside sauna.
We could like maybe have an undercover. Yes, I like where you're going with this. We could have an undercover seating area adjacent to the new outdoor office space where I could record my podcasts. And there could be like a tub with a sort of, a lever above so you could like cool yourself down. And then under and to the side, I'm getting carried away here. To the side, there would be like we'd make sure there was a really cozy little wooden armchair with like one of those fake fur things.
That sounds good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 of those.
I might get my friend who does interior design to do a CAD drawing and bring it to life, and then I can show Tom. I think he needs to see it visualised.
Yeah, and I think I'll have to drop it to the kids. We'll need to get rid of the goalposts. So there's a bit more space.
You'll have to have a family conference. Sort of have a, one of those amazing, do you remember those amazing things when we were younger in our early careers? The stick, the extendable stick, so you could press on the board. Was that just me?
No. Yeah, that will come in useful.
When you first went to job interviews years ago, did you have a pencil skirt suit as well? Because I did. That's how old I am. I had a pencil skirt suit.
No, I think I tended to wear a dress.
I didn't know where you were going there, but thanks for being a good sport.
But speaking of interviews, one of my earliest interviews was for a radio station in Glasgow. I was going to be doing some PR for them. And I didn't remember walking into the man's office. He went in front of me, and then I walked in, and then he closed the door behind me. And after the interview, I got up and I went to the exit. So I was going out first. And I held onto the handle and I pulled it towards me. But little did I know it was a sliding glass door. So I'd pulled his glass door off the wall. I was standing,
Oh my goodness.
That wasn't the best way to end the interview.
Did you get the job?
I didn't. No.
Oh, well, that really was a sliding doors moment. Oof.
It was very good.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. You can take that. You can borrow that.
Yeah, I will.
What is a trend you're secretly over, but everyone else seems to love?
It probably goes back to social media and algorithms and designing for algorithms rather than the people that are going to be involved with the design work. So social platforms, they tend to reward speed and volume, and that seems to be shaping what designers are producing and putting up there. There'll be over and over and over. If you're on Twitter or X, you'll see just a couple of visuals, did I cook or something like that? Or people will just want critical feedback. Well, maybe they won't want the feedback. Maybe they'll just be putting it up there because they know the algorithms are rewarding this. So I know why it's done, but I don't think it's good for people who are just entering the profession to see that this is what is getting more attention on social media because it just exacerbates the problem.
It does.
So if you reduce your exposure to social media in that way, then that can protect the attention and the level of taste that you have over the work that you're doing. That's a trend that I don't particularly like. The algorithms and the work that they promote. Yeah,
it's exhausting. We actually just did a bit of a how are you finding social media in 2026, and I've not read the article that our writer Tom May's drafted up yet, but that's coming out tomorrow. So by the time people listen to this episode, it'll be on the site. But it's really interesting. Most people are saying they're over it. They're kind of done with it, and much more leaning towards in real life events. I mean, that's kind of been a thing on everybody's mind for a good year now. I think community is the buzzword of the day.
Yeah, you're doing more of the creative boom in real life, aren't you?
I am indeed, yeah. Well, it's not me personally. It's all these amazing volunteer hosts. There are now 10 in real life events across the UK. There's one in Belfast. And they're run by people who just want to sort of do something locally for their community. It was a thing that came about from the community, the private, the studio, Creative Boom's private community. They all said, this is great, this is fab, but we want to meet in real life as well. It'd be nice to meet up. And I was like, well, I can't be everywhere all at once, even though I love that film. What is it? Everything Everywhere All at Once. But why don't you, if you want to, I'll support you. Why don't you volunteer and you can host something in your own area? And then literally within 6 months, there were 8 more. And
Brilliant.
I think Brighton just had theirs. They were buzzing afterwards saying it was absolutely incredible because I think before the pandemic, there were so many, I can only speak of Manchester, there were so many amazing events that were happening, and there were mainly talks and workshops and ladies' wine design, all sorts of amazing things going on. And then obviously that tailed off. And then some things have come back. We're seeing people like Process and Craft put on amazing events. So when I sort of said, what do you want to do? Do you want to do talks and all the rest of it? A lot of the community said, we like those, but there doesn't seem to be anything where we can just rock up and talk to each other. So that's what we said. We said, all right, no talks. We just make it a social, sort of casual networking. And there's a really lovely little kind of, I suppose you could call it a tagline that our designer Angela Roach came up with. And it is, don't be shy, say hi. Isn't that lovely?
It is. Yeah.
And it's just a grassroots thing. So to say it's me is completely false. It's all these amazing, wonderful people across the UK who are dedicating their spare time. And believe you me, I love saying that. Believe you me, we are working really hard at Creative Boom to get some sponsorship again for 2026, so we can support them and do more things. I mean, it's fab to see. They're all so amazing.
Yeah, that is great, because we could all do with more face-to-face contact, rather than screens. It reminds me of Tina Roth Eisenberg, and when she started Creative Mornings and how that grew.
Oh, that was
all
amazing.
Around the world. Yeah.
Amazing. Like, I wish I could say this was my idea so I can, show off about it on my CV, but it's not at all.
Well, it's all under the Creative Boom banner, isn't it? And, you deserve a lot of credit for that.
Well, who knows what's going to happen next? It's certainly nice to see it all coming together, and so much possibility. Really enjoying seeing them grow. I think we might have one in New York soon, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, somebody emailed and said, do you think it would be all right to hold one in a brewery? I was like, you're asking a Brit.
Yes, please.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the smallest thing that instantly improves your workday?
Not checking my email. Yeah. Just having that slow morning. What I do is I get up at about 6:30. This is during the week whenever the kids are going to school. I get up at 6:30 and I'll get the kids breakfast. They are out the door. Scarlett walks just down the road to get a bus to school. And so she leaves at about 8. And then Isaac and Catherine works in the school that Isaac is in, the primary school. He's in year 4 just.
Aww.
And they leave at 8:15. And then after that, I'll tidy up the kitchen, do a bit of dishes. I might put on a load of washing. So it's really, really rock and roll.
It's helpful. Gosh.
Yeah, well, and it's just that way to have some slow time and not get right into it and be faced with an inbox that's full of probably half junk. Because like I said, I don't take on too much work. So there might be a few client emails in there, but if I don't check them until 9:30, 10, then it gives me that thinking time to prioritize what needs to be done, to maybe start on the work before seeing if there's any new inquiries. That really helps, is just that lack of distraction for an hour or two after the house is quiet. Yeah. I enjoy that.
It's just peaceful.
It is, yeah. And when I'm in my office here, I tend to work without any music on the background, because that can be a distraction to me sometimes. So if there are birds in the garden, I'll hear them, or if it's raining, I'll hear that on the roof. So there's an ambient noise, but I like the peace. It helps me work.
I'm very much the same. Very much the same. Yeah, it's there's something special about the sound of rain on a roof like that. Yeah, it reminds me of caravan holidays or being in the tent or
Yeah, you go away on a camper, don't you?
I do, yeah. I do. Yeah.
Any plans?
I got a little Jack. We were going to go to a National Trust campsite in Ambleside this weekend, but it's absolute torrential rain. So we've asked if we can move the weekend. And if not, it doesn't matter because it's the National Trust, isn't it? And it's not that expensive. We are not fair weather campers, can I just say? It's just that it has been raining every day in the UK, apart from on Saturday.
Yeah, I know it's been a strange start to the year, and it was good that it was dry on Saturday because that's when I take Isaac to his football matches. He does training on a Wednesday, a Friday, and then on a Saturday he'll play 4 12-minute matches against other teams from the area, and he absolutely loves that. And I love watching how he enjoys it so much. Yeah, so it was good to have a dry day, and he doesn't mind playing in the rain. He gets soaked through sometimes, but he doesn't mind that because he loves playing football.
Well, you don't when you're a kid. I mean, God, we were climbing trees and getting chased off fields by farmers and
that's right,
playing in brooks, and we just didn't care, did we?
We did not. No, I remember crawling up a few streams pretending I was a commando.
Same with the little
times.
toy soldiers.
Yeah, Action Force, I think, were the toys that I had at the time.
Yeah,
I would set them up and pretend they were having a battle.
Yeah, same. I think I had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle models as well, and we'd set them up on various things hanging from trees, and good times, good innocent times. Yeah. What's one piece of advice you'd ban from the creative industry forever? It's like Room 101, this.
Thinking back to when I started out, I would say yes to pretty much everything. A client would come to me with an inquiry that I hadn't done before. It might have been some print work or some digital work. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I would say yes just because I needed the money and I felt like I couldn't afford to say no. And for a long time, I thought that is good because it helps me realize what I don't want to do. But there's a limit there. If I'm always saying yes to everything, it can lead to burnout if I'm doing too much work that I don't enjoy. Would I ban it? No, because we all find our own paths. And my advice is it's applicable to me, but people are in different situations. So if I was starting over again, I wouldn't do as much of a broad scope of work. But at the same time, I'm conflicted because it took me a while to figure out that the logo and the identity was really what I enjoyed the most. So had I not done that, it's a tough one, Katie. I wouldn't want people to be burning themselves out by taking on too much work, by saying yes all the time. So earlier in your career, yes, that can help you learn, but long term, it's shaped more by what you decline than what you accept.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to say is, the piece of advice you'd ban is that all advice should be banned because we've got to go through that initial phase ourselves to learn what works for us, and it's different for everyone.
Yeah, that's a good way to summarize it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just thinking about all these things at the moment as well. And whenever anybody comes to me and asks me, which is, it's wild that younger people do, but they're like, how did you make Creative Boom a success? And I was like, well, first of all, define success. And second of all, it is like George's Marvelous Medicine. I've just thrown a ton of stuff into this cauldron and I have no idea what's in there, but I just know that you have to keep going, keep experimenting, and it's a million tiny little steps to get to where you need to be. And that path and that journey will be different for everyone. So whatever worked for me won't work for the next person, especially now with everything being so different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's well said. Not everybody, but there are so many opinions. People are very forward at telling you what to do, and only accept advice from people who you respect, because you have to filter out social media, for example. The comments on there, they can turn you off anything that you do if you're constantly surrounded by so much negativity. And I think the algorithms boost that negativity because they know that it creates controversy, and that's what keeps people returning.
Yes.
So yeah, just be careful who you take advice from and try it for yourself.
100%. And I love that we keep coming back to social media. I did the same as a lot of other people, started a Blue Sky account after all the things that were going on with Twitter X. And rather ironically, I've just kind of parked Blue Sky now because it's even worse than X, in my opinion. Yeah, I just keep seeing so many negative things. And I'm like, okay, I mostly detach myself from what's going on social because I completely come at it from a business point of view. But yeah, I'm done with this channel. This is very, very toxic. And my life has infinitely improved.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yes. It was interesting what you said about the article that you put out there about social media and how a lot of people are like steering away from it.
Yeah.
Like I can understand the value in it because if I'm going through a quiet spell, for example, I'll be more proactive in updating my portfolio, and then I'll share those portfolio pieces on social media, and that generally leads to more work. So there is an advantage to it, but more and more, the downsides seem more apparent.
Yeah.
With the negativity and the back and forth with different opinions put out there to cause a reaction, and you don't even know if it's a real person because so much of the content will be generated from bots.
Yes.
So is there really much of a point in communicating with people if you don't, well, certainly if you don't know who they are. If you know them and if you trust that that's them, then okay, but I would be very reluctant to comment on a post that I didn't know the person who was making it. I don't do it. No,
100%. It's nice to dip in and out. And actually, a lot of people in that kind of survey said that they only mainly go on LinkedIn and Instagram now. So that's interesting. Mm-hmm. And don't go on it that often as well. So very positive.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to myself. Would be LinkedIn and Twitter. I don't have an Instagram account. I never set one up.
Good. It just makes you feel like a complete dork that you need to spend a fortune on clothes and your house, and you always feel like you're not going on enough adventures traveling. And then on top of all of that, you see everybody else's amazing work, and then you just feel completely hopeless, and you go into this spiral. And this is just like 10 seconds of it. You know, like that episode of Black Mirror when he plays that computer game and he goes on this awful rampage. Have you seen that one?
I have, yeah.
And then it turns out that it was only for like 1.2 seconds or something like that.
Uh-huh.
It's like that. Instagram is evil.
Yeah, I'm glad that I never started. I was tempted to, but what I think at the time they just released the ability to choose your own extension after the Instagram.com.
Wow.
And I was going for David Airey, but someone was squatting on it.
Those bastards.
So yeah, as if I was going to pay them.
Do you want me to bully them? Do you want me to say, come on now?
So I didn't, and I am glad for that because my other Catherine, she uses Instagram and she thinks that she should come off it, and I think she should come off it because, like you said, it can affect your thinking in ways that aren't positive.
Well, there are it isn't completely evil. It is how you use it. You have to be disciplined. There's that word again.
Sure.
It's actually it surprised me how much it allows me to stay in touch with a larger circle of friends that I I'm not, often in touch with because everybody's busy, you've got kids. And it's strange that that's the sort of platform that's become the thing we stay connected through, whether it's just sending silly things to each other. And ironically, it's like led to more things in real life. So I take it with a pinch of salt. So
Yeah.
as soon as it kind of balances more in this negative way, I'll just come off it again, because I go on and off it all the time because I'm an absolute lunatic. Anyway.
Oh, well, that's what I love about the studio, is that the space that you've created.
Yes.
That there's no algorithms. And
No.
it's just a great bunch of people. So
It really is. I'm just going on there now, actually, because they're all... have you seen they started calling me the dear leader?
no, I hadn't noticed. That's very apt.
And every time, like, I welcome new members, a couple of them, especially Paul Leon, goes, "All hail the illustrious leader." And then somebody else wades in and says, "Welcome to the cult." I'm like... God, like, people, if you've just joined us, we are not a cult. I am not the dear leader. This is a very warm and friendly creative. And then they all wade in again and they're like, that's what a cult leader would say. They're all asking for cloaks. They want cloaks like the traitors. I'm like, oh my God, what have I started?
Yeah, you set up that it was a group kind of video call. I think Paul Leon was one of the side rooms that I was in with. Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's lovely, isn't he?
A few other great people in there. So yeah, well done with that.
Thanks, love. I think you were at one of the first ones, actually. And I think Paul, he was in there. I've forgotten his surname. There's so many people now. There's like 7,250 people or something like that.
That's impressive.
But he was like, oh my God, I love the studio. I just was in a room with one of my favourite graphic designers and got to chat with him. And I don't know anywhere else I could have done that. So, wow. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Right. I'll crack on. I do waffle a bit, David. You just have to tell me to shut up.
It's all good, Kitty.
Right. Oh, I'm curious about this because you're a creative hero to many, and I know I'm embarrassing you there by saying that, but who's your creative hero, past or present, and what have they taught you without you even knowing it?
One of the first names that comes to mind is Paul Rand, because the logo work that I do is what I find most enjoyable. He was one of the pioneers, one of the greats.
He was.
There was a clarity in what he presented, and I felt like the editing of his design work was almost like a creative discipline in itself, the way that you can remove things and make it better. So just simplify while retaining that distinction. And along similar lines, somebody you interviewed, Tom Geismar of Geismar and Haviv, or Shermayev and Geismar and Haviv. Yeah. Tom Geismar and Ivan Shermayev. They were two that I really looked up to. They kindly contributed to some of my books, and I interviewed them for my blog. And if I'm thinking about younger people, then I think you might have spoken with Luke Tong recently.
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
He seems to be doing such a brilliant job.
He's such a good egg.
Yeah. He seems to know what he's doing in terms of helping others.
Yeah.
He always seems really positive. I like that. And what him and Dan are doing, the Birmingham Design Conference, seems really popular too.
It's great.
I've yet to make it over.
You should come. Oh, are you going to come? I'm going to be there.
I should.
Yes.
Yes. I've been meaning to.
Let's get a posse together.
Yeah, that would be great.
Luke is a gem. I actually shared that we'd spoken, and I know he's always been very popular in the industry, but I shared that on my Instagram. This is another example of why Instagram's quite lovely, actually, at times. The amount of people that sent me a message and said, "Love Luke, what a gem, what a gem." Gem was like the word people mostly used to describe Luke. And I told him this, and he was really quite humbled, as you would be. Because I think that's important, isn't it? We're all often just at our desks, heads down, working and doing, and in your case, my case, we do these extra things to support others. And then when you get that back, it's nice to tell people, you know, you're doing great and you're doing something really, really valuable to the community.
Yeah, and Luke is, as are you. So I would include you there.
I'm a massive twat, David. Don't include me.
Other names that spring to mind, the list would be huge.
I know.
But there'd be Paula Scher, there would be Christopher Doyle.
Yes.
Jesse Reed and Hamish Smith of Order Design in New York. And
such great people.
Per-Nicholas Bedo
Yep.
in Sweden. Oh, there are so many. So many people have been really kind to me over the years.
Yeah.
Through either promoting my work or through just saying something nice in an email that I would keep in a little folder, or contributing to my books. Yeah, I have been so fortunate with the people that I've come across. The design profession, I completely get that not everyone is great, but it's the same across any profession, really. But
of course.
The design profession has been very kind to me. There are so many good people in it. The list that I have would go on and on and on, but those are just a few names.
Yeah, same. Love it. It's a great industry, and seeing, you know, on the Dixon Baxi tour that I did, just seeing all the lovely gifts they'd had from people and the things they were telling me they'd sent out, it just shows it. Just sending that little email or telling Luke Tong that everybody loves him, or, you know, occasionally dropping you an email or whatever it is. It might be just small, but actually it's lots of ripples in a big pond, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, folks, if you're listening to this and somebody's inspired you and you've been meaning to reach out, just drop them an email and say you love their work and that you're so impressed by them, and kiss their ass a bit, and everything will be great.
Yes, that's good. It doesn't happen very often when somebody will send me an email like that, but it really brightens my day if somebody has said that, because I'm kind of isolated here, you know.
Yeah.
I'm working from home, and that's why I think that in real life things that you're doing are brilliant.
Maybe you should do an in real life in Bangor.
That is a good idea.
Put you on the spot. Actually, I've got a very good friend who's just recently moved there for love. And I think you two would get on really well. He's absolutely brilliant. Would you like me to put you in touch with Graham?
Yes, sure do.
I will do. I will drop you both an email. He's a really good egg, and I think he's starting to sort of enjoy taking a dip in the sea as well. So maybe you could go and have a dip together. There you go.
Yes, I'll make a note. So yeah, introduce me, please, and yeah, we'll see what we can do about the in real life Bangor, the creative boom Bangor.
Oh, that'd be great. Right. Chain reaction time. I think it's starting to be called chain reaction. I'm pretty sure this was a sort of thing back in the day when radio was bigger than it is now. But Liz Seabrook was our guest last week, David, and she wants to know, what do you think you should be doing right now, but why are you not doing it?
Ooh. I often think maybe I should be homeschooling my kids, because I can see the things that are wrong with education. There's a great TED talk by a man who is now deceased, Sir Ken Robinson, and he spoke about the value of creativity and how schools almost throttle that out of children. It's more about being regimented and how much can you remember? How much can you remember and then recall in an exam? And there's so much pressure on kids with exams that I wonder, should I be taking my children out of school? And then I think to myself, well, what are the logistics of this? Will I have to give up my job, or how will that work with me and Catherine? So it's something that's been on my mind. Should I do it, and how can I do it? At the minute, I'm not. My kids are both doing brilliantly. I don't know whether that's in spite of school or how much a role being around kids in their classes. I know being around the kids in their classes will help. So if homeschooling was a thing, it would need to be a collection of kids from the local area and perhaps switching the teacher around from day to day, something that would make it a bit more manageable for parents, because the social aspect is really important. I would not take my kids out of school and then homeschool them at home on their own. I don't think that would be helpful for them, because they need to interact with people their age and learn how to develop their relationship skills. So that's something that's been on my mind.
Niggling away.
Yeah, it comes back now and again. But the great thing is that they're both doing brilliantly, Scarlett and Isaac. So if they weren't doing as good, it would be more of a pressing issue.
Yeah.
But for now, it's just something that I think about now and again.
Can I tell you a little story?
Please do.
So my mum and I think my dad as well, my husband, were out on a walk. This was years ago. And my mum would be pointing out plants and flowers, wildflowers and things. And I just sort of like looked at her and went, Mum, how come you always know what these things are called? And she said, oh, well, when we were very little, my father would take us out on walks into the sort of hills, because they were in Durham, so they were surrounded by countryside. And he would sort of point things out to us and tell us what they were called. And she often talks about how her dad did that and taught her how to spot things and how to use certain things, like with the dot leaves to get rid of nettle stings and things like that.
Yes.
All these like little skills, but it wasn't just that. It was classical music, it was poetry, lots of other things that he taught. And he was, like men of his era, always at work. So she treasured those moments with her father, and still to this day remembers everything he taught her. So can you get what I'm trying to say? Yes,
and I love that. They absorb things like a sponge, so it doesn't need to be a regimented homeschooling routine. It can be just, like you said, pointing things out now and again. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. They'll absolutely remember it, and they'll get like a broader experience, learning experience. But you seem like you two seem like amazing parents, bringing up amazing kids, and it's so sweet that you just only want the best for them. And it sounds like they've already got everything they need right in front of them. So,
well, they might disagree with you from time to time about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you might have this conversation again. Well, no, hopefully they won't turn into sort of terrible teens. Very unlikely, David, very unlikely.
Fingers crossed.
Now, what is your question for the next guest?
If you were to die tomorrow, what would you have wanted to do more of? Wow,
that really sums up, doesn't it, what we've been talking about, really?
That's kind of similar in a way to the question that your last guest posed to me, but yeah, it strips it all back to focus on what's important, really. And yeah, the more we think about that, the more fulfilling I think our lives will be in general.
Yeah, because I don't think we quite understand how precious it all is. So shame that we have to be reminded of how finite it is when we're faced with sadness and loss and bad health.
We're all here for a human experience, to make the most of each day and to enjoy everything we can. Now, there's going to be suffering because that's part of being a human. But if we can think of some small moment in our daily lives that brings us joy, and then try to do more of that, then it's a good way forward.
That will be something I take with me when I pitch the outdoor sauna and outdoor book library to Thomas. Oh,
do.
I will. David, this has been so lovely. Thanks for joining us on the podcast.
Katie, you're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thanks to Adobe Acrobat Studio for sponsoring this episode. If you're ready to spend less time on the administrative side of work and more time on the work that really matters, Acrobat Studio is well worth exploring. From AI-powered summaries to organised PDF spaces and built-in design features through integration with Adobe Express, it's a smarter way to work. Head to the link in the show notes to explore.